low, and it looks like a Dark Templar might be able to. No, there's mines there to meet it. Looks like, yeah, and that was a nice maneuver actually by 4GG right there, pushing up that Vulture to blockade so it would get blown up instead of the tanks. More scouts looks like they're being produced. We'll see if this turret goes up. That turret might go up with about 50 health. Unfortunately, Scout's not very good, and with that SCV repairing alongside, it is going to have to back off. Now going to come back and attack that second turret. So Cal in a bit of trouble here, but he's continuing to put up a really good fight. Obviously, the economic advantage has been somewhat has been minimized. My question is how long is it going to be before we see Goliath in this build from 4GG? And I think as soon as those Goliaths approach, that will be game. More Dark Templar coming up, trying to sweep the minefield, getting taken out immediately as they press down, led some mines into that SCV right there, and now, as you can see, just trying to keep that perimeter from being created. More tanks, more SCVs, and there's the armory right there, and it looks like we're going to see more Goliaths in not too long from now. It looks like that back turret was taken out. He might be able to get that tank. I don't think he's going to be able to get both tanks here, though. We need a bigger minefield on that front door in the meantime. Looks like another tank coming up to assist alongside. That second tank gets taken out. No, it looks like there's more tanks just approaching right here. We'll see if that minefield can be reestablished. Repair happening in the backside. Another SCV pushing up, going to distract those scouts. That's going to take it out. And now Dark Templar, as you can see, trying to go up and trying to do damage to that turret, not able to. And also, if that turret goes up, that's going to be detection against those Dark Templars, so it's going to be very difficult for Cal to do anything. He's going to be completely pinned into space. Producing Zealots, it looks like, to do a suicide run against these tanks in the meantime. We'll see if there's going to be a large enough Vulture force to deal with it here. More SCVs pushing up, and it looks like 3 SCVs, just SCVs after SCV coming down here to defend against this. It looks like some mines going off on the front door. It looks like a single Zealot being let out. That's going to get taken out very quickly. Just 2 scouts. It looks like a third scout being produced alongside to try to take out these SCVs, and I'm still waiting for that Goliath to come. I'm just, as soon as that Goliath, I think that it will be, there's the 2 Goliaths right there, and I think that might be GG for Cal as soon as those Goliaths approach, because those scouts not going to be able to do a lot against the Goliaths, especially with some SCV support, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of SCVs down. Goliath starting to push out a nice micro there by 4GG to take out that scout. Sorry, that Zealot without too much harangue. In the meantime, now the Goliaths have approached. Those tanks starting to push up. Now they're going to be able to push up a little bit more defensively. A lot of Zealots being produced alongside, and it looks like this is going to be Cal's breaker. He does have somehow, he managed to macro up a lot of forces there, considering. Now he's going to do the push. Try to lead with that first Zealot to clear some mines. Doing a good job spreading them out, and he's going to try to go for those tanks. Those tanks are the key here. 4GG doing a nice job isolating and pulling back here, hitting those tanks and drawing those Zealots off with those Goliaths. Cal a little bit indecisive as whether he wants to take those Zealots or not. Looks like Cal has managed to break this. Cal might be able to break this here just with his scouts. 3 scouts versus Goliath. He is going to be able to take that out. We'll see it. And he has managed to take out the tank as well. Cal somehow breaking this front door push. 4GG doing everything, and Cal just with some brilliant micro, some brilliant maneuvering, some excellent micro actually, leading with those Zealots, has managed to basically break this. He's not out of the woods yet. Still these Vultures you can see inside his base and still lying mines. And I still wonder if Goliaths are going to come up alongside, but Cal putting up an excellent defense. Now trying to get those Vultures down with the scouts. And scouts, I've never seen scouts used so effectively here in a pro game. Usually it's just one of those things you throw out where it's like scouts are not cost-effective units, so it's just kind of a harassment thing. But now scouts are basically the key to Cal's defense here. Once again, clearing mines with those Zealots here. Now 4GG's got to think, looks like he does have an expansion going up of his own, but needs to think about equalizing things economically. I don't know if he's really, and now an Arbiter Tribunal is up as well. Cal somehow surviving, and a robotics facility going up as well. Cal has managed to fight this off. The front door, 4G has given up on the contain. Unbelievable. No, I'm sorry, there's more troops pouring in now, more Vultures pouring in, trying to pick off whatever they can there. More mines being laid, but now a large Dragoon force being produced by Cal. Cal has just, this is really impressive play from Cal. Really, round of 8 deserved. Now the Scout's going to be able to push in and delay that additional expansion going up from 4GG. As you can see, that Scout's picking off that SCV, the SCV taken out, and these Scouts being used by like an absolute scalpel here. Very slow, very low damage scalpels. And now 4GG going to try to expand twice, basically, to try to equalize the deficit he's in at this point. I got to assume that's an Arbiter being produced at this point. Unfortunately, 4GG doesn't have, I got to assume he doesn't have the upgrades, doesn't have the economy to fight off really a big Arbiter attack. In a really good position here. Now I would expect Cal just to push up. He's got a huge amount of Dragoons underneath there. All he needs is a single Observer, and then he'll be able to push out, really, and break that mine contain at his front door. 2 tanks going down. 4GG needs to produce a lot of tanks here, and he needs to get some sort of, he needs to produce actually those additional command centers, because he's going to have a lot of comsat to deal with this Arbiter here. Looks like a 1 mine going off, going to be able to kill additional Dragoon. There's only 1 mine left at that front door. Just going to be a moment before it's taken out. That Arbiter being hidden. Comsat going to see that Arbiter, though, in the meantime, so it's going to get a scout out. So that's fortunate for 4GG. We'll see how he reacts. Unfortunately, he's in a bad economic position. He still only has 2 factories versus basically the 8, or what was that, 6 gateways of Cal. Cal going to cap that economic advantage he has and put down another Nexus. Keep in mind, he's been mining out of 2 bases this entire time. 4GG has not been able to stop that economic build in the meantime. So single gateway pushing, as well as it looks like 6 gateways. Sorry, single Stargate, 6 gateways. 4GG only has those 2 factories. He needs to produce some additional factories immediately. He's getting a starport down, but honestly, I don't think he can stop the onslaught here with just the production capability he has now that Observer's out front. And Cal looks like he's going to be able to end this. So an incredible game 1 here. I'm not going to say it's game yet, because 4GG still might be able to fight this off. And Cal expanding again, so putting up 2 additional Nexus just to make sure he sustains that economic advantage. 4 tanks on that ridge. Unfortunately, I still don't think it's going to be enough. He doesn't have any even turrets there to defend against the Arbiter. More observers being produced, and this group of Dragoons, I think that is going to be the death knell here for 4GG here. He's just in a lot of trouble. It looks like the Arbiter's actually just storing up energy for a recall. It's got some Zealots underneath it here. Cloaked Zealots, dangerous. That Observer being picked out in the field. Looks like there's finally a turret up there. But honestly, that's the single defensive point there for 4GG. Single mine going off, taking a little bit of damage to the Dragoons. I don't think it matters, though. But Cal can actually relax a little bit here. Taking a huge, not just economic, but really it's the production here. The amount of gateways he has versus the amount of factories that 4GG has. 2 factories does not cut it. That second expansion going to be up momentarily, and my guess is as soon as we see those 2 Nexus go up, Cal is just going to rush in and punish 4GG. And it looks like actually Cal looking a little bit thin at his main here. I'm surprised he hasn't pushed an attack yet. It looks like he's going to push an attack now from both fronts. Going to be able to take that barracks out. And a stasis going off, stasising a lot of these tanks, and that's a nice maneuver. I thought he was saving up for recall the way he was holding it back, but no, going to run up and save for a stasis. Got that stasis off. There's GG from 4GG. Wow, brilliant game from Cal and 4GG. I still wish this could have been a duel, because that was brilliant play from Cal. Cal looking like a champion. Really brilliant play, and that was the heads up, looking like he could take it all the way there. Ladies and gentlemen, that was awesome. He just brutalized 4GG there. 4GG had wow. We'll see if 4GG can pull it out in the next games, but his confidence has to be shaken after that match.